video, I get into an interview with Leland Duyck, who has a really interesting perspective on the risks and the rewards of different businesses. He has created and sold multiple businesses in his career. He runs a cattle ranch, and he also now has built up a network marketing business here with ASEA to the point where he's earned over $1 million in that revenue channel. Now, his perspective is one that I want you all to have because it's unique. Life experience has taught him a lot. And you will also see him, get emotional and teary-eyed because of the impact that this product has had on his personal life, but also his excitement that it is in the hands of a founder with such integrity, a business model that brings residual income. And he didn't realize in business an option like this existed. So I hope you gain a lot of insight from this conversation. They say you become the company that you keep. So I am bringing you lots of interviews, lots of perspectives from people that maybe look at the world a little bit differently. They've had a little bit different experience in life, and they can offer some wisdom so it can kind of cut the learning curve for you and allow you to be able to make decisions sooner. I can't tell you how many times he's looked at me and said, I wish I found this when I was your age. So I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, leave any comments in the comment section. It's me behind the scenes answering all of them. All right, Leland, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
I know you are a busy man with lots on your plate, and I really would love it if you could just give everybody a little bit of insight into your world. I've always been fascinated since I met you with the types of businesses you've been in over the years and what you're currently in. It is amazing to me how you juggle it all, but give everybody a little bit of insight into your background.
Well, I grew up in the Dallas area and went off to college in Kansas, played basketball and baseball, and then I went overseas and played some ball for years. And I had a foot injury that when I went through the surgeries on my foot, I enjoyed watching them. They numbed my legs, so I kind of got an interest in medicine. So when I came back from over there, I went into medical school here in the Dallas area and got my PA degree in orthopedics. I was a surgical PA, worked for about 70 doctors at 9 different hospitals, and all I did was first-hand assist them in their different types of surgeries. And then for about 2 years, I did just about all types of surgery. I helped other doctors, other surgeons in their field, whether it was delivering babies or plastics or OB/GYN, general surgery, whatever, but really just full-time surgical assistant. And I did a lot of bone grafting for the Spinal Institute. So that my background was surgical, and I'd had a couple of other companies that I developed while I was working for these guys. I opened a chain of retail stores called The Back Place, and we carried back-related products for back patients that had injuries. And we had 3 of those stores locally and built those and sold them. And then I opened my own orthopedic distribution company, and I did that for a while. And we had, within a 2-3 state area, we covered a lot of the doctor's offices. And then I was approached by a gentleman that he said, I have knowledge on manufacturing, but I need knowledge in sales and contacts. So I merged with a guy, and we were had a manufacturing company where we designed and patented orthopedic sports braces for local colleges, NFL, NBA. We have supplied the veterans hospitals for 11 years under contract, all 163 hospitals. So I've used my medical background to help develop orthopedic braces that we used to see our patients have injuries while they had them on. We improved them, and we made them right here in the USA. And built one company for 10 years and sold it. Then we built another one after the compete was up for 10 years and sold it. And I'm on my 3rd one now. And this next year will be 10 years. So I've had 3 orthopedic companies where we manufacture and sell worldwide to professionals, ATP, tennis, things like that. So that's really been my background. And then now I've been a cattle rancher since '94. I was in FFA as a kid, so I like being around cattle. So when I was able to, I bought this 450-acre ranch in southeastern Oklahoma in '94 and paid for it a couple of years ago. So now everything's paid for. I'm just running cattle and making a nice income off my cattle. And so that's really, I don't play golf, so that's my golf game, I guess. I'm running cattle and raising my own grasses and really trying to do it right. So, and then what led me to ASEA was I'd sold one of my other companies and I had a 2-year no compete, Danielle, and uh, I couldn't do anything during the 2 years, but I also had a health challenge hit me. And
Mm.
after working cattle all day, I woke up the next morning. I couldn't even roll over on my own mattress. My hands had turned into my palms like this, and I thought I'd had a stroke. I really didn't know what happened to me, but after 7 weeks of testing, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, a very
Mm.
rare one, and the doctor had never heard of it. And when he mentioned what it was, I rolled my eyes. He goes, "You've heard of that?" And I said, "My mom had it." And he
Oh,
said, "Well, she must have passed it to you." And so it's like having a severe arthritis in every joint at the same time. And I couldn't take the cap off a bottle of water. I couldn't dress myself, button my shirts. I couldn't go to the restroom without help. For 14 months, you want to talk about humble pie
yeah.
because I've been an athlete for years. I've been a rancher, very physical, and all of a sudden you can't even take care of yourself. And it was doing a mind job on me. I was very depressed.
Yeah.
Um, I was approached with ASEA 2 years prior, and I turned it down. I called it snake oil and laughed at it with my business. And because I didn't study it in med school, I didn't know it was real. I thought my friend was just trying to sell me something. And after 14 months of treatment, I was desperate. And he kept calling me back and saying, you sure you don't want to try this? I know you're going through a tough time. And I started on the product. But I was still skeptical. Had to fly out the company, meet the owner and see the plant, make sure it was all real.
Hmm.
But I was excited. I was wowed that day. And I don't get wowed because I'm around big athletes and big business, but that company wowed me. I came home and started the product, and immediately I saw results the first week. My discomfort was dropping quickly. Second week, my depression had started lifting. And then the third week, my hands opened and closed for the first time. I still didn't understand it. I was getting better, but I studied orthopedics, not cellular science. So I didn't really know what it was.
Mhm.
But that's what led me to this company. And I've been with the company now for 7 years. And I said, well, I have a no compete for 2 years. I might as well see what I can do. When I saw what it did for me, all I could think about is all my friends and family and athletes and, that needed this. And I started sharing it with them. And the first 30 people said yes
Wow.
to the business side of the business, not just taking it for myself. I felt almost an obligation with my background in medicine that I needed to share this with people.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't get involved in the outcome, whether they say yes or no.
Right.
It's almost like sharing your faith. You can share it, but it's not up to you with what they do with it. So I just started sharing with people saying, I can't promise you anything, but there's a 30-day money back guarantee and it can't hurt you. So why would you not try this before other forms of medication or treatments, surgeries, or whatever? And my first 30 people I went to said yes. And that's where the business side of this took off. And I wasn't only getting paid on what I did, I was getting paid on what everybody else did. And I'd never had
Mm.
a business like that. I've always had brick and mortar business, 150 employees. And believe me, there's a lot of headaches with, your rent and your manufacturing company and your insurance and, 150 employees managing that. And so this was a new game for me. And so I loved it. I started getting checks in the mail and I thought, oh my goodness. And it grew very quickly. I went to a six-figure income in 14 weeks with this company and tripled that in 15 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a, doesn't mean much to people who are not in this type of business, but I'm a triple diamond executive with this company. And, you know, uh, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging because I'm not. I want to show you the possibility of what this kind of company can do. But I went to their millionaire club in my third year.
Mm.
That's what they paid me for 1 million. And that blew my mind. I'd never made that much that quick. And I didn't have a building, I didn't have employees, I didn't have the brick and mortar businesses that you have with normal brick and mortar business.
Mhm.
And all I did was stock what I used myself and I told others about it. And what I really liked about it is that anybody I talked to, they were able to get their own account and buy at the same price that I buy. I wasn't buying and marking up to my friends. They had their own account and bought the same price I did. And that fit perfectly for me because I could run my other businesses in my ranch
Mhm.
and still do that because the company ships and bills and does everything for you. That's what attracted me. Not only did it help me physically, Daniela, it's helped me financially. It allowed me to pay my ranch off. It allowed me to pay my cattle notes off and my equipment notes, and to be debt free, it's been a blessing in my age. I was introduced to it at 62, really ran with it at 64, and I'll be 71 this March, two
Amazing.
months from now. And it's been a game changer for me, both physically and financially. So this company is phenomenal. It's a great vehicle for whatever you want. You pick and choose. But I've never seen such leadership in a company.
Mhm.
I've met people like you and other leaders that just are, where do you find that? And so I've met so many new friends and people in my life all over the country, internationally. The company's in 33 countries, and just continuing to try to grow this business. But what's neat is, if you take off a month or two, like I had to when my parents passed away and they had to take care of all their financial affairs, I still got a check every week. And if it'd been with any other company, they would have fired me.
Yep.
So I really learned what time freedom meant, to have the time to do what I want to do on my schedule. And all my other companies, I had to be there every day or I was traveling somewhere.
Right.
So this company gave me something that I never expected, and that was my time freedom, to
Mhm.
not have to punch a clock and to be able to do it from my home. And I never want to go back to the old brick and mortar business, even though I still have a couple of them, and I plan on probably selling those this next year, one of them, and then of course the ranch I'll keep until I'm physically not able to because it's a hobby for me.
Right.
But I hope I didn't go too much. I was just trying to tell you where I started and where I'm at today
Oh,
because of this
just
business.
so beautiful. I mean, you hit so many points. And I think that's why I've always been fascinated since I met you years ago, was seeing someone with such a diverse background, right? Going from medical into business, also owning a ranch. Like you've lived a lot of life, right? You've experienced a lot. And I want to come back to something that you said, which was that when you went to ASEA and you flew out and you met the executive team and you toured the production facility, you said you were wowed. And that I want to just come back to and understand, what was it that wowed you? Because to me, with someone with your expertise, your knowledge, your background, it's going to take something, something big. If you're working with, NFL players and you're doing business all over the world and you'd made $1 million before, like, what is it that you saw that made you stop and go, this feels different, this feels good, and I want to give this, my time and attention.
The reason I went out there, really, in honesty, was to disprove that it wasn't real. I just had to know this was real before I jumped into it.
Uh-huh.
And I was running a manufacturing company. I know what to look for, and I didn't see any red flags. You
Mm-hmm.
could eat off the warehouse floor, FDA, FTC approved plants. Uh, the professionalism of the employees. I think the company had won Employer of the Year for 6 or 7 years, in the state of Utah for the company to work for. Just leadership that you don't see. The company had an ethos about how they treat people and their leaders. They knew they couldn't do it without the team in the field, and we know that we couldn't do it without them doing what they do. And everything I'd heard about them was confirmed that day.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the plant, I saw how the product was made. It put such an impression on me. I was so excited to come home and take the product.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to see what it was going to do. But I was wowed because of the professionalism. And I didn't feel I was being, a sales job was being put on me. They were there to answer my questions. They were there to tour me the facility and showed me what their company does and why they do it that way.
Yeah.
And when I realized that they had a product that I really needed physically myself, but all I could think about was how many people do I know that need this product? If it's what you say it is,
Right.
and I told this to the founder the day I left. I said, I've tried everything medicine can throw at me, nothing's working. That day I couldn't shake their hands.
Oh,
And
wow.
I still get teary eyed as I tell the story because I remember where I was.
Mm.
That day was tough because my hands were like this. And I was trying to shake this owner's hand, and I'd read about it on PubMed. There were like 15,000 articles there then. Now there's over 500,000. It's growing great, but it gave me hope,
Mm.
and I was losing faith. Uh, I didn't want to live the way I was living. I'll just tell you.
Right.
And so this gave me hope. And when I went out there, it confirmed what I was hoping for. And then the final deal was, will it work?
Right.
And I came home and started it, and it worked. And still didn't understand it, still probably don't understand it. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to understand it. The leaders in the company have tools they give us, and I just send out a video and tell people to watch it. If they're interested, call me back. I'll help get their account set up. I'll answer any questions they have. But I'm not here about a big sales job on them. I'm here to answer their questions. And my main goal is they get healthy. But what so many people miss the boat is
Yeah.
that this is an unbelievable business with a residual income that I've never had. If I'd had residual with all my other companies, I wouldn't have to do anything. This company has a residual income, and that was a big find for me.
Hmm. A huge find for myself too. This idea, having lost my health and then not being able to work, when I got my health back, I was like, there's got to be a way. Like, is there a way to do something where you can get paid even if you can't physically show up? Like, I love that you were able to take the time to do what you needed with your parents' affairs, and just like life is always happening. And I see so many people so
Right.
stressed out because they have to maintain work, their family, and whatever new stressor has just come in, they can't take a break. But with a business like this, it's like if you get it going, like you did, you got it going, you were excited, life happened years later that you were able to go, okay, I need to go take care of that. And you still got checks in the mail. Like that's what we're talking about when we say residual income. It's I think if everyone understood it, they'd be knocking on our door going, how did you make it happen? And show me how to do it. Can you tell me, like, in your business, have you been able to help other people to earn an income? And, some people say in a business model like this, oh, well, he got lucky, he got in at the beginning, all these things. He just makes money because the people below him do things. Have you been able to help other people to make a residual income?
Absolutely. And, for me, proof's in the pudding. With
Mhm.
my background in medicine, I can't promote something I don't believe in. I saw it work on me, and I saw it help work on family members and close friends. And, I'm even talking about the bad stuff, that, my brother-in-law was sent home from a big major MD Anderson, said, there's nothing we can do for you.
Oh, wow.
And I got him on the product, and in 5 months, he's clean in 3 different areas now, and he's back to preaching full time.
Oh, wow.
So I see stuff like this that we get paid in goosebumps. I've heard other people say that too. It's more gratifying to me, Danielle, than doing a surgery and putting maybe an athlete back on the field for a game or for a season, and then I see him again with another injury.
Right.
This truly can change the dynamics of their life moving forward. And for a lot of people coming out of college, they can't find jobs. They're looking for something to do. And now they're teaching this type of business at Harvard. So this is a type of business I wish I'd have been introduced to when I was young, where I could stay at home and work from home and not travel and have all whether you're running a big company or buying a franchise, you have a lot of upfront money and there's a lot of risk involved.
Yeah.
And there's no risk here, just
Right.
what you buy for yourself to get started. So it gives everybody, people like myself that was a blue collar worker, grew up in a blue collar town, my 5 boys in the family in a little home. I, I didn't know we were poor.
Yeah.
We had food on the table. I thought we were rich. Everybody wanted to be at our house. But you know what? I saw people doing this and I thought there's no difference in them and me other than I'm a hard worker. Why can't I do this? I just started sharing it with people and it took off. And, everybody wants to make it out it's easy. It's not easy, but it's not hard. You have to stay consistent. That's the key to this is you're going to have great days where you're on cloud nine and you're going to have days where you're at the bottom of the hill and people say they're going to do something they don't and you get frustrated. But you know what? That's no different than my orthopedic companies. It's no different than calling on an orthopedic surgeon and him promising to buy your products and then you get back home and he doesn't buy. I mean, every business is the same. You're going to have your ups and downs. You probably couldn't handle it all if you got yeses on everything anyway. But
Right.
when I get a no, I just smile and say next
Yeah.
because I know it's a numbers game with any business. That's what it is. The key is I call it keeping people in the hopper, continuing every day to reach out to people and share it. Because a lot of them that I reached out to 6, 7 years ago told me no.
Mhm.
I just moved on down the road, but guess what? They were still watching me and watching me on Facebook. And then all of a sudden now they have a health challenge or someone that they love or care for has a health challenge. And they call me and say, hey, you still doing that business? I said, I am. How can I help you? So a lot of them tell you no, come back later if they see you as a leader staying consistent with it.
Okay.
So I would say it's not hard, but you have to stay consistent as a leader.
Yeah.
And it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about helping others. And if you help others, automatically you help yourself. So it's take your eyes off yourself and help focus on other people, whether it's for health or for better wealth. A
Mhm.
lot of people in the last few years with what this world's gone through, people's lost their jobs. Business as we know it has changed. A lot of things gone through Zooms like what we're doing right now versus traveling and doing things. And this business has the ability to build your business right from home. And it cut out on my clothing, laundry bill and my gas bill and my lunches and all that sort of stuff. And tax write-offs. It's crazy the tax benefits from this company. It's crazy.
I
It's awesome. Some of our top people in the world, richest people in the world, are involved with this type of company because of the benefits.
Yeah.
So I tell people, take a look at it.
Mhm.
Um, you will be, there's a lot of companies out there, but I've never seen one with the integrity that this company has. And I've been involved with a lot of them and been around them. So great people, company's debt free, growing strong in 33 countries, and everybody is going to know about Redox. We have a family of Redox products. Everybody's going to know about it just like they know the name Kleenex in your home, where they're going to know the brand Redox. So I'm excited to see where the next 10 years are going to go. I just staying as consistent with it as I can, knowing that there's days you're going to go great and there's days you'll drop down. But I don't get on that roller coaster ride up and down. I just try to kind of stay calm. I don't get too excited. This is not a race, it's a journey. And you stick with it and you stay consistent. And when you do that, things will happen for you. So that's what I've learned with this business.
Oh, beautifully said. I think you just hit everything I wanted
Oh,
to ask you, which is like, we've talked a lot about the plus sides of a business like this, but the downside, I would have to agree with you. It's these emotional dips that can happen. And what I have found is that it's interesting because in, the other businesses you were in, if you're leading it, you're holding space for a lot of employees and everything else. It's all on your shoulders. What I love about this business is there's people around you that are able to help you through the hard times, right? They're like, hey, I get it. Come here, let me help you out. And it's like you have this camaraderie because everyone's on a similar mission, They've had the down before, maybe
right.
they're on the up right now. And have you found just the community of ASEA? Like, I know we talked about the corporate team, but what about the people in, as we say, like the field, right? Like yourself and myself. I just find this beautiful, like, friendship that gets made, because we're all kind of going in the same direction.
Some of my closest friends today are in this business, and I have friends all over the world that I never had before. And this company rewards you handsomely. And I've traveled the world with this company at their expense because when you hit certain numbers and stuff, they pay for these beautiful trips and you get to go and mingle with other leaders like yourself from around the world and you learn from each other. And, we have a heart
Yeah.
for a passion for this to help other people. So the like-mindedness of the people, it's wonderful when you travel, when you got people that are like you, that care about other people. And, even though this is your own business, you're not in business by yourself
Right.
because you have team to help you. And I have people call me every day that I might do a three-way call with to help them explain something or help answer a question that they might have, or I'll steer them to a particular tool that they're not familiar with yet where they can get the answer to their question. But we do sometimes we call them workshops or maybe in a restaurant or in a building or at a church or where we got a room, bring a few people together, small groups, and just mingle and talk. That camaraderie there is fun. And then we have our big regional meetings where you can come and learn. And then we have our national meeting that we go to. And so there's a great place to tie in to build friendships. It's a great life. You meet a lot of new people you'd never ever meet before, and changing lives. It just you can't hurt them because I used to write scripts that had side effects, but that's what we were trained on. Well,
Right.
with this, it's native to your body. You're only putting back into your body what your body can't produce anymore
Mhm.
at your age. And so to be able to replace that, that's why they're calling this one of the top five sciences in the world. They're ranking this, Huffington Post says top five sciences, and they're ranking it right up there with the discovery of DNA and penicillin.
Yeah.
So I have people sometimes that are negative. They'll say, "Oh, this is a scam," or this can. I said, "You can say all you want because you haven't done your homework. There's only a 500,000 doctors talking about this. All of our major med schools are teaching it. Even Harvard, they spent millions on the redox lab. So if you go do your homework, there are negative people out there making negative comments on everything you want because they don't want you doing that because it's affecting their business. And
Exactly.
usually, most people, they're naysayers. Usually you're being paid by a company to say that to hurt your business. And that's what I learned. So I tell people if you want to go to Facebook to me or go to what is it when you Google,
Yeah.
to me, that's the backbone wall of the internet. Anybody can say anything. But that's not where you go to study. Go to PubMed or Google Scholar where the doctors go and look what they have to say about this. And that'll answer those negative thoughts that I had. I was that person. So I don't get upset when people say no or call it that because that's what I was doing. And until it helped me. And then I realized this was real
Yeah.
and one of the top 5 discoveries in the world. So, you know, if you're listening to this, I would just tell you, first of all, first and foremost, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. When I was sick, I would have given everything I had up to get it back.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this product. It brings me to tears where I was and where I am today, and now what it's done for me and my family and for other people. I
Mhm.
couldn't think of anything any better. And so as I get older, this is a perfect type business too to be involved with
Yeah.
because you can do it from home. You got a cell phone, you're in business.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But I recommend it to everybody I see, whether they do it or not. That's not up to me. I just have an obligation. I don't want a friend or family member coming back to me and saying, you were doing this and you didn't share this with me, and I've been suffering with this issue, or I've been hurting financially and needed a new way to make income. So I'm really the messenger, Danielle. What they do with it's up to them. But it's a phenomenal opportunity for anyone. And we have a lot of doctors in our group
Yeah.
that are doing this full time now, making more than they made in their practice, and they're actually helping more. And it blows them away the technology and what we have our hands on. So, and what happens if they get sick? If they can't run their doctor's office or practice, they're out of business.
Bingo.
So it's nice to have a backup. I think 40% of even physicians today have a side job like this, a
Wow.
backup. They start
Wow.
building another stream of income because if something happens, they're dead in the water.
Right.
They have a health challenge or anything, it's over.
Yeah.
So, people need to look at this as they move forward for health and wealth, but that's their choice. But
Yeah.
I couldn't give it a higher recommendation with the leadership. It allows me to make money and I'm not running the company. All I do is go out and do what I do. If I do what I do and they do what they do, I know they get a good captain at the helm with the ship. And I
Yeah.
don't worry about it. I've met them, I travel with them. They do what they say they're going to do, and they do it better than I could do it.
Yeah.
So this is really a new opportunity for me at my age. I just wished I'd have found it when I was your age, not when I was,
I know. I'm
about
grateful we
six.
did. uh,
Yeah.
well, you're a beautiful messenger, and I'm so grateful that we captured this, that you're willing to share and just create the time. I know there's so much going on in your world, and you're a true blessing to a lot of people, Leland. And to all of those listening, I'll tell you this, if you haven't already, like this video, share it with a friend of yours. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. There are so many incredible stories that I've come across in my now 9 years with ASEA. And I want to take those stories and share them with you. And Leland is one that, I met years ago at a conference, and him and his wife, I just absolutely adored. So I'm grateful to have spent this time bringing this story to you, bringing his wise words to you and his perspective.
I would want to say this in closing that I remember when you first got involved in this business, you'd had a tragic brain injury from a car wreck,
Mhm.
and to watch what this did for you, and then to watch you grow as a person from where you were, not only to get healthy, but now to grow into the leader that you are today.
Mm.
It's impressive. And so if you're listening and know Danielle, she's a great leader. She knows this business inside out. She can help you. If you're looking for something for health or wealth, you've got a good leader here. So just reach out to her. She could really help you.
Oh, thank you, Leland. Yeah, that becoming has been incredible. The Tyler says, believe, belong, become. And I heard it at the beginning. I went, oh, it's cute. It sounds nice, but It's the truth. The person I've become is thanks to my involvement with ASEA, people like yourself. When you get in the right rooms, people have different mindsets. They have different ways they look at life and have the desire to teach you too. That's what I've been so blown away, is the willingness, the mentorship, the coaching that comes, in this environment. And I've learned a lot from you along the way. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll get to see you soon.
Thank you very much, Danielle.